Hello friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to narrate some questions and answers from the poem The Wagon of Shoes, which was composed by Abraham Sutzkever. I have already uploaded a video featuring a summary of this poem. So let's check out some questions and their answers. Who is dragging the wagon of shoes? The wagon is being dragged by a group of people who have been employed for the task of transporting the shoes of the dead people to a different location. Whose shoes are being carried on the wagon? Dead people's shoes are being carried on the wagon. All these people seem to have died in the Holocaust. Why are the shoes throbbing? The shoes are throbbing because they are being shifted to a different place. The people who had worn these shoes have been killed recently. The throbbing shoes remind the poet of the people who had been so alive and active once. The wagon like a khupa. What is a khupa? Why is the wagon being compared to a khupa? A khupa is a wedding canopy. The wagon is being compared to a khupa because in the glow of the evening, the shoes piled on top of the wagon looked like people dancing at a wedding reception. On what occasions had the shoes been used earlier? The shoes had been used for holidays, weddings, and ball dances. Why do the heels of the shoes tap with no malice? The heels do not tap with malice because the wearers of those shoes are no longer alive to feel hatred or scorn for anybody. The heels make a tapping sound only because they are continuously moving. Where is the wagon being taken to? The wagon is being taken to Berlin in Germany. Why is the narrator hesitant while talking about the wearers of those shoes? The narrator is hesitant because the disappearance of the wearers is shocking. The people had been killed in a ghastly way. The narrator's heart beats faster as he remembers them. Why has the bride not worn her bright and neat shoes? The bride has not worn her shoes because she is no longer alive. When had the narrator's mother worn her shoes? The narrator's mother had worn her shoes on the occasion of Sabbath while lighting the ceremonial candles at the time of prayer. Why does the narrator feel like an orphan? The narrator feels like an orphan because he can identify his mother's shoes piled on the wagon. He realizes that she had been killed like the other people who had worn the shoes kept on the wagon. Why were the shoes on the wagon still warm? The shoes were still warm because they retained the body heat of the people who had worn them before their death. Why were the shoes of the narrator's mother twisted and blood-stained? The shoes were twisted probably because the lady was attacked physically. Physical violence must have led her to bleed. Why does the narrator run after the wagon of shoes? The narrator runs after the wagon because he wants to kiss his mother's shoe and wear it on his head reverentially, just as a tefillin is worn by adult Jews at the time of prayers. How old is the narrator now? The narrator appears to be 30 years old. Ever since that hour, my mind is a twisted shoe. Since how long has the mind of the narrator been like a twisted shoe? Why is his mind twisted? The mind of the narrator has been like a twisted shoe ever since he saw the wagon of shoes being dragged through the streets. His mind was twisted because he had lost his power to think clearly. He lost his reasoning skills because his mother's death, along with the death of so many other people whom he had known personally, had shocked him. Describe the feelings of the narrator in the concluding lines of the poem. In the concluding lines, the narrator expresses his sense of loneliness and abandonment. He has nobody in his life with whom he can share his woes. He is completely alone. He feels dejected that there is nobody to listen to his prayers. He is living a rotten life while in their graves, the bodies of the owners of those shoes are rotting as well. God does not seem to have delivered any justice. With this, I come to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time we meet again, bye.